everybody, welcome back to Bedrock Survival with Fixxitt. We are back here for episode 101, working in the medieval area. I've done a lot of work between, well, episode 99 and now. I did kind of do the world tour in little bits of, well, I did the first clip at one point, and then there was a bit of a break, and then I did the second clip where I did some work in between. Because as I was recording the first clip, I realized, oh, there's a couple things I want to add, so I went and did that, and then I did the world tour. So I hope you're enjoying the world download. That is going to be available for about 2 weeks, probably, on the channel description, or on the video description, rather, of episode 100. So go ahead and grab it now before it goes away, and then you have to wait till episode 125 to get it. So here is what we've been really working on, is all these custom trees along this path, and really just making a very, very homey, cool, organic feeling, but yet curated walkway. I think it's a really nice little thing. I really like it. I did a couple other things, but I think you're not really going to be able to see it at night, so let's sleep. Do I have a bed here? I do have a bed. Cool. Let's sleep. So if we head over past this new house that I just built, we see that I'm still waiting on that. I need that one sapling to grow to really fill out this custom tree, which is going to be a really nice one that grew really nice and high. It really helps whenever you get one of the big oak trees out of the 5 or 4 or 3, however many you make. Really, it makes a huge difference. But what I worked on was just up here in the White Cliffs area in the crop fields. For one thing, you'll see that I have a tree that is yet to grow because I've not been here very much recently here. But I put down these little rock formations because I wanted to kind of see how they feel, and I think they feel really good. I really like them. I think it's a really good thing, and I think it's something that we're going to do a lot more of around, especially crop fields. Maybe not necessarily always in the middle. I think that was... Yeah, I did it twice. I don't think I'd want to do it more than twice, but especially like along the edges, maybe on the other side of this road, although this will very likely end up being developed part of the city here. But yeah, I think these they really add a lot. It adds some height, adds some interest to a big open field, and yeah, it's really cool. Let's get a little bit of an aerial view over here and just take a look. Oh yeah, I see. Oh, I did it 3 times. Yeah. See how nice it is, though? It makes a huge difference. I think that tree in the middle of this field is going to make a really big difference as well. Now, what are we doing today? Well, I have been working on more of these sort of, I hate to call them life spots, because it's not really the way that Grumpy Owl always talked about life spots. It's like where people live, you know, like maybe a cart or maybe a hammock, things like that, you know. So that's not what I really mean. I just mean like points of interest, space fillers. Space fillers seems so bad, such a bad term though. But you know, like for example, this tree, because this tree, not only is it gonna really shade this path and make the path look good, but it's gonna really fill this area here, because that area is just a big blank area with nothing really going on. And I think that's really gonna be important and very helpful to sort of get worked out. So we're definitely gonna do that. I definitely want to do more small trees and stuff like that. So, you know, I just want to get into a stage of kind of, oh man, I don't know, finishing or making better what we've already done in this area. And then also, secondarily, I want to get into building the castle, and we are going to break into the castle today. We're going to start the actual castle. I've said this many times. It might be hard to believe, but everything you see here is not the castle. This is a castle wall, and that is a storage building. That's not the actual castle. The actual castle is going to stretch from this peak, and it's going to go all along here, and it's going to go the whole way up to that peak. Well, actually, there's another peak over there. So the actual castle, this would be a lot easier to show you in a backup. Let me just slip over to a world backup, and I'll show you. All right, hot off the press is a brand new episode 101 backup, and here's the basic plan for the castle area. So we have this wall that goes right along here and goes up to the old former iron farm, and that's fine. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little bit of maybe an additional wall with a pathway leading over to part of a palace over here. That's not going to be the main part of the castle though, because there is a decent chance once 1.16.2 for Bedrock comes out that this may end up being our squid farm. This is a test right now, and I have 2 potential squid farms. One is way over there in the jungle, one is right up here. Whichever one works once 1.16.2 comes out is the one I will use. If that's the case, then this is all going to become a mountain, this whole bay. If that's not the case, then this is very likely going to end up being a harbor for ships and stuff like that. If So if this becomes a mountain, then this will become the harbor over here, right? So either way, we're good. We'll eventually do that. I do want to do a harbor very soon, but I really want to get the castle. I want to get like a sweet castle starting to grow out of the depths. Here is my small issue. I don't really love this terrain right here. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think that it's really ideal, because what I would like to do is raise up this terrain here so that way the castle can have a much bigger footprint, and we can actually, it can be big enough that we can actually have more houses inside of it. Like if I use all the elevated land right now, that will essentially mean that all the room is taken up by the castle, and that's not necessarily ideal. So I need to do some real thinking about how I want to do terraforming. I think I figured it out. I sat there and I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked at the cliff, and I think I finally figured out exactly what I want to do. So I want to do a twofold sort of terraforming project in order to get into really how I want this whole area to look. And one thing is, whenever you walk up around this bank, I want there to be, boom, a view. And to get that view, I think the best thing is going to be to terraform this right up to that slope as a cliff, and then have sort of tiered layers coming up from here. So like to explain a little bit better, it's going to be a lot easier once you see it, but that may or may not be this episode. So once you get up to the top of here, you're going to walk up here and you're going to be on this level. Cool, this will be great. But then you'll go upstairs or a little road and you get to another level, then another level, then another. It'll be like plateaus getting up to there, and on each of those plateaus I can build parts of the castle. So I think it will be a really, really cool look, which means sadly this entire area right here, it's got to go. It's got to go. So the first thing I want to do, we're just going to cover it by a fake covering, and I am going to light it up because eventually I want to have a mob farm. Someday long from now, I actually do want to have a mob farm. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of build out a little bit of a cliff. Now I want to see how high and where I want this to be. There does seem to be a river down here. Let's take a look over here at there is a river that comes in from the ocean. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we leave a little bit of an area here that could be maybe like a warehouse sort of area that you'd bring stuff in from the river. So maybe we start right about here and we start moving in from right here. Okay, let's just go up here. And I'll try my very, very, very best to not make this straight at all. So we'll go somewhere along these lines, and obviously I'm going to have a lot of tree cutting down to do here, but I think this will be okay. And we'll go over here, and we'll just sort of run this a little bit in a kind of interesting way up till we get to up there. Cool? All right, I got to cut down some trees. Oh my goodness. Are you ready for transformation of the decade, of the century, of forever? Oh man, I can tell you how long I've been working on this because I've watched 2 complete movies and it is now 3:30 in the morning. So, are we ready? Oh, look out that door. You see what's going on out there? That's right. We have grass and dirt and a nice, awesome area that we're going to be able to build our castle up on. It's a little narrow. Honestly, it's a little narrow. I kind of... it's a little more narrow than I really thought, but if you, I want to build down there. I want to build houses and stuff down there, so it, the city sort of goes around. So we're kind of up against it. But there's a nice textured cliff here. That's good. There's a plateau up there. That's going to be more of the castle. So the idea is going to be there's going to be a palace over there, a tower of some sort over there, something over there, and something over there, and something over. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm saying, but the point is, this area is beautiful. Let's go take a look from. Oh, hey, how about up in my non-functional squid farm? That would be a good place to look. Maybe. I think so. Can I get there? Okay. Yes. Oh man, it's so different. It's unbelievable. Like, wow, what a difference that is. It's incredible. That was an almost. I can't say unbuildable, but it was going to be a really, really tough project to build on. And now it's all there. It's all textured. It's all ready to go. And actually, I went ahead and I did the whole way over around the castle, well, around the storage building to over here. So I can actually build just like sort of houses and stuff down there. So there's a lot of possibilities right here. I think up here I'm going to do something with this, but this is going to be probably the next phase. what I want to do this phase, I want to work on this main area right here. That's going to be the plan, this entire area. And what I really want to do, I want to keep it kind of back towards the back, because I think what I want to do is I want to come out that door and turn hard and go right along the castle wall, and maybe have enough room for a few little houses, which I think the reason why I want to have houses is because having a normal sized house with the tower and castle right next to it is going to give scale, right? It's going to give, oh wow, this is really big because I can see this castle, or I can see this house here right in front of me. So I think that's really, really going to help. But man, this is just awesome. And all this is done down here. I gotta eat. All this is done down here, all ready to be sort of developed. It's good. Over here, this area is, I left it open because I think I'm going to do something with it. Yeah, I think I have plans for in there, and I think I know what the plans are going to be. I think it's going to be a really fun build down the road at some point whenever we do something. But I think we're going to do a very cool sort of cave build of some sort down there. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming. But let me check and see the time. All right, I may have a controversial thing to show you here. So you may love it or you may not love it as much, but I stayed up way too late last night working, and I think I finally love it. But the growth curve on hating it to being thinking it's okay to actually loving it has been quite a long one. Get ready. Here we go. Ready? Yeah. I did Blackstone roads, and we're going to do the whole kingdom in Blackstone roads with eventual some variation as well. But for right now, I just wanted to get all the Blackstone down, and then we'll put in basalt too. Look, here's the thing. You know, whenever path blocks were introduced, I don't think a lot of people totally loved them. I think they love the concept, sure, but I love the texture and how it is, and now they've just grown into a major block in Minecraft, a regular building block. I feel like this is the same with Blackstone in the way of using it for overworld stuff and for roads and all that kind of stuff. But so it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I hope you don't hate it too much initially, but I really like it. I think it's what I love about it is it's kind of hard to see at night. What I love about it is that you can see the gradient a lot more. Like, for example, this is a great place to look, because you have black on the road, then you have kind of cobble and gray, and then you have cobble and gray buildings with like a colored roof. I think that looks really nice. I think it's really, really cool, especially, you know, it's darker than the andesite. I think that really works in this, you know, with the darkened andesite that we have in this resource pack. But here's the main thing. If you look over in this area, like if you check out over here where I didn't change out the road yet, and you look, this is what we're used to, right? So this is going to be soothing for us, I think, and for the eye. Like, we're used to this. This has been the way Minecraft's been for 11 years for medieval roads, right? Like, they've essentially been this or some variation of this. And here's the problem with it, though. If you back up just a little bit here, okay. So now we have gray roads, gray base of house, gray mountains. I mean, here's a gray wall. You know, it's all the same blocks. Now, that probably makes a lot of sense because people would build out of what they have available. So maybe the Blackstone doesn't make as much sense, but I think it adds kind of a bit of a fantasy, a bit of a different look, and certainly from flying in, it looks really cool. And I think we're gonna get used to it. So we're just gonna go with it for right now. If I still hate it in 10 episodes, then we'll change it. I don't say still hate it. No, if I hate it in 10 episodes, I'm a little bit mixed on it, but I think that the upside is better than the downside on this. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's a really good thing. I think we have a really, really, really nice improvement here. If you just take a look at like having the dark on the bottom and the blue sky up top, it really adds a lot. I think we're gonna go with it. Okay, so that's gonna do it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you next episode, and maybe we'll lay out the castle footprint. That should be a lot of fun, and actually change up the skyline in this build a little bit. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.